Hello everyone, welcome back again to Angela's Craft Room. Today I've got this lovely card for you using the new Healing Hugs stamp set. Now this is a new style of stamp that Stampin' Up have brought out, and it's just wonderful what you can achieve just with one colour. Look at all those highlights that come through. I stamped this on Very Vanilla. You could try Whisper White and see what you can do, but I was a bit frustrated when I first started using this new stamp, and it did take me a little while to get used to it. But there's a couple of things. Your ink pads can't be too juicy, so there can't be lots of ink in them. And so because I had all the new Stampin' Up new style stamp pads, they're all juicy. So I have tried so many different colours. This one here is one of the new colours, Mango Melody. So I thought maybe using the lighter colours when you first start using this stamp may be a hint that it may help you as it helped me. And I've also today I'm using Blackberry Bliss. And that is a dark colour, but it is one of my favourite colours, and I have used that stamp pad quite a bit, so a lot of the ink has been used. So it's not a very juicy one like a new stamp pad, but it's still quite juicy. So we'll show you how to stamp that today. So, and it's just how I apply pressure really. I don't stamp like on with heaps of ink. I'll show you how I do get this effect, but I really love this stamp set, and I just think it's so effective, and these new colors are just gorgeous. This is Early Espresso, and then you've got Mango Melody, then you've got Coastal Cabana and Very Vanilla, and the flowers are done in Mango Melody and the leaves are done in Old Olive. And you can see how the leaves even give you that texture, so it's a little bit lighter on this one and darker on this one, and on this one it just leaves a nice little edge all the way around there, as if you'd been colouring it for ages. And that's what I like about it. It's just so easy. But I'll just show you. I've got it over here. So I'll show you a close-up of the stamp. So you can see on first looking, it's very flat. It's not like the normal stamps where you'd be able to see the image quite clearly. But when you look, so you can see the imprint on the flower. I'm calling it a rose, but it's most probably not a rose, but you can see the imprint on there, and that's what gives you that lovely detailed highlights on your flower. So we'll put this aside and we'll get started. Now I have pre-cut some so that you don't have to watch me cut, but what I'm going to do is we'll bring in just pop my stamp pad underneath, and I'm just going to pop the flower down anyway because I do like to cut these ones out. They just give a little bit of more dimension to your card. And another point is I glued the first one down, and then I popped this one up on dimensionals, and then I glued the leaves flat. So it just gives the effect that the flower's popping off the page a little bit. So that's another little hint for you. So I've just got that on my Stamparatus, and all I'm going to do first, I'm going to get the Mango Melody. This is the new ink pads. Now normally I might do this, stamp it a couple of times. With this, what I find works best is just one firm compression, and with the light colours it's a bit hard to see, but I'm just going to go up to the top and just press it. maybe because I've used this one a bit, and we'll just stamp that down. Now another thing is when you're stamping your image, when you're stamping your stamp like this flower, and see how beautiful the details you get, and that's just one colour, and it's just beautiful, especially when you cut it out. Now what I was going to tell you was, when I'm just going to grab my chamois and just clean that off, because I wanted to do one in Blackberry Bliss for you as well, just to show you. Now when you're stamping your stamp, if you can see bubbles on your stamp, you've got too much ink on there. Okay, so I'm just going to turn this around, and I'm going to use Blackberry Bliss. And this is a lot darker, so it's a lot easier for me to see where it's sitting. So I'm just going to bring that down, and I just give it a press, quite a firm press. I stamped quite a few of these, and then I cut them all out, and isn't that just gorgeous? That is just beautiful. I absolutely love that in Blackberry Bliss. It's so lovely, but I do like the new colour, Mango Melody. It's going to take me a while to remember these new colours, but you can see how easy it is. Now I'll wipe that off. Another hint with your chamois I discovered, I was just leaving it out at night. After I finished, I'd rinse it out and leave it out. It will go in the washing machine as well, because mine's just come out of the washing machine, but you won't get the stains out, they'll stay. But I found if I keep it in one of the Stampin' Up CD cases, it doesn't dry out anymore. It must be the condensation inside being in an enclosed CD case. It stays moist. So that's another bit of a hint there for you. So I just want to show you what the leaves as well, because it's just the same process. I'll bring that down there a bit. So just press that down, and then I've just got Old Olive, and these are the colours that I've used on my card. So now all I'm going to do is press down, and you can over press with the leaves, so just be gentle. I just want to remove that's on the edge there. And I have seen Stampin' Up representatives use a dauber and add other colours while once they've stamped up their flower, they've used a dauber and they've gone into the ink pad and they've done highlights. That didn't work for me. I'm quite happy with the one colour, and I'm just loving the effect, so I'm sticking with that. So you can see how easy that leaf as well, and see you've got all the highlights all ready for you, and I just think it's beautiful. So just try with whatever ink pads you've got, give it a go, but just be wary that the new ink pads, when you get them, are going to be very juicy. So I'll just close those up, and I just want to wipe off that leaf, just the ink off it. There we go. So we'll put that to the side. Now we're going to make the card. So now I've shown you how I stamp the leaves and everything. We're going to lay out the card. So I've got a piece of Blackberry Bliss that is 11 inches long by 4 1/8 of an inch wide, and I've scored that at 5.5. Just my normal thing. And then I've got a piece of mint macaron, and I've already stamped a sentiment on it, and that measures 5 1/4 by 3 7/8 of an inch, and I'm just going to put that straight inside my card. This is just such an easy card to make with this stamp set, I should say. So then I just want to open that up and pop that down as center as I can. Just lucky I can move it a little bit with the Tombow liquid glue. So you can see how nice the mint macaron as well goes with the Blackberry Bliss, two of the new colours that they've introduced from June in 2018. I mean, we've had both of these colours before and they've brought them back, which is awesome because I absolutely love them. And now I'm going to put a piece of mint macaron on the front, and it is the same as the inside. It's 5 1/4 inches by 3 7/8, and I haven't embossed this piece. Now when I do my embossing, another tip is I usually do a piece that is about this size, and then I cut it down to whatever size I want. One good thing about that is you have leftovers which you can put in a cellophane bag, so you know all those colours go together. So if you're wanting to make a quick card, you can easily just grab it. Then I've got a piece of Blackberry Bliss, which I have put through the Petal Burst embossing folder. Now this piece measures 2 inches by 5 1/8, and as I always say, when you're gluing up a embossed piece, because you've got little grooves in there now that you've embossed it, you just need to really try and get into those grooves so that the glue will take. It's just one time that you do need to put a decent amount of glue on there. Now I'm going to turn this sideways because I want to get it as even as I can. Now I just want it a little bit, have a little bit of a nice border so I can still see the mint macaron going down here, and just make sure that that's as straight as I can. So that's pretty straight. Sometimes when it's embossed you do need to add a bit more pressure. Got any glue seeping out, just have some cotton buds close by and you can always mop that up. So you can see these colours are really matching as they go on. So then I have a piece of So Saffron cardstock, and it measures 3 7/8 of an inch by 3 1/4, and that's right, I'm going to put that way like that. So we just glue up. And just make sure you get enough glue in right into those indentations that we've made by embossing. Another tip is when you're putting your embossing folder well, when you're putting the piece of cardstock in your embossing folder, I didn't do it this time, but if you have a spritzer and you just spray both sides of the piece of cardstock before you put it into the embossing folder and through the Big Shot, just give it a spritz with water each side. I'm just trying to get that where I want it, and then put it through the Big Shot. Especially with the new embossing folders, that the real deep indentation ones. I didn't do it this time, but I'm going to try it because it does give you a better result, really, especially with the new embossing folders, because they're very, very deep indentations on those. So just see how I want my flowers to sit, and it doesn't matter if they go off the saffron a little bit. I don't think it will, but so I'm going to leave that one there because I'm going to put some Stampin' Dimensionals on the back of the second flower so it sits up. And then lastly, I'm just going to glue my leaves in. So I'm just going to remove this now, and I want it to be pretty much to the top. You'll work out where you want it to sit yourself. So that's just going to glue down. Then we're just going to grab some dimensionals, and I always want one right in the center, because when you go pressing it onto your card, if you don't have one in the center, you're going to end up with a nasty indentation. And it's not going to look very nice. So we just pull these off. So don't be scared to experiment with this stamp set. It's a beautiful stamp set, and you really need to experiment with what colours you've got there at home. You mightn't even have Stampin' Up colours, that's fine. Just use this stamp set and you'll learn to really love it. So I'm just going to pop that about there, I think. And then that. Just give it a little rub on the back. Okay, those colours are really coming together. So then we've got, well, I've got two lots of leaves. So I want to put one up there, and I want to put one about there. And that's another thing, when you pop it up with dimensionals, you can pop your leaves underneath the flower as well, so that's an added bonus. So I'm just going to spread that glue out a little bit with my cotton bud. I don't mean to go off camera, but I don't want to hold my leaf on top of my card and then it accidentally drops onto the card, which has happened before. as those that watch me would know. So what I did then was just draw the glue out right to the tip of the leaf. So I just want to hold it in the right way, and I'm just going to pop that underneath like that. It's just if you spread the glue out when you're trying to do leaves. I'm nervous that being underneath there. Sometimes I'll just do a bit of a squiggle of glue like that and grab my cotton bud. That way I know I'm going to be able to get the glue right out to the tip of my leaves. And also, if you're looking for a demonstrator in Australia, just put a comment below and I can get you in contact with my demo. She is awesome. She is just such a wonderful lady, and she really will look after you. So I might just pop that back up there so I'm looking at it in the right phase. So if you're new to my YouTube channel, I do publish 2 videos every single week, so please subscribe to my channel, as that way you will not miss a video. You won't get them every single day, so it won't be annoying. I know how annoying that can be, but no, you'll get 2 a week, and you'll just so you know. And another thing is, just down below in the comments below here, it might say see more. If you click on that for me, it will give you my blog address as well, and I'd really appreciate it if you did start to follow me as one of my followers on my blog, and then you'll get to know every time I do a new card, which is normally about every 3 days on my blog. But yeah, I do appreciate it. Now I'm just going to put, I had previously stamped the greeting, sending you healing hugs, and then I just trimmed it with my trimmer. That's how easy. I didn't cut it out anything fancy with framelits or anything. And what I like to do with this way is I just put 3 dimensionals along the bottom and try and get them so you've got a straight piece at the bottom, so they're going to be all equal and in a nice little neat row. And I'll show you why I only do with this particular card, why I only put the dimensionals and I don't put any glue at the top. Okay, so the reason is because we've put a lot of layers on the card, the part that doesn't have any glue is going to sit up on this embossing folder, and the dimensionals are going to sit down here on the mint macaron colour. Okay, so what I do is I just slide it, and then if I just slide it, it just automatically stops when I hit a dimensional, and then I just know that that's where it needs to go, and then I know I've got 3 underneath there. Try not to press down in between the dimensionals, because that's another way you'll get indentations on your card. So I hope you like those techniques today, and I hope it encourages those that are having trouble getting used to the new style of stamp that Stampin' Up has introduced. If I get the pronunciation correct, it'll be a miracle, but I am sure it is called distinktive if you have a look in the catalogue. It's called Distinctive Stamps, and there's only a couple that are like it, but I'm really loving this flower one. It takes all the hard work out of it. So the colour combination on this one is Blackberry Bliss, Mint Macaron, So Saffron, and a little bit of Very Vanilla. And then the original one I had was Early Espresso, Mango Melody, and Coastal Cabana, and a little bit of Very Vanilla. So they're two colour combinations that have worked for me. Oh, I nearly forgot. If you want, you can just pop up in this section here. I just like to pop up. I did 4 pearls on the last one, and you don't have to, but I just think it finishes it off. And even though this is like a sympathy card, sending you healing hugs, it can be a get well card as well. Like someone could be sick and you're sending them healing hugs. So, you know, get well. I don't think it, you know, has to be boring. And even if it's a sympathy card, I don't think it has to be boring. So I'm just trying to straighten those. There you go. So now I feel like I've finished. So I've finished. It looks so much better with my little pearls up the top there. I just love my pearls and rhinestones. So I hope you enjoyed that video today. I really appreciate you subscribing to my channel. And until next time, happy crafting.